Hi, this is Jeff Evans taking you through the AAT Advanced Diploma, the Synoptic Assessment Task 2 on Sample Assessment 1. So it's one where you got to do a partnership account. So it says that with Sam Jones, who's a part qualified accounting technician, working for BLM & Co, a business which manufactures and sells sinks. BLM & Co is owned and run by Brian and Marnie Moore in partnership, and it says we cover all aspects of bookkeeping and accounting for the business. Today's date is the 31st of January 2009. It says you to prepare the final accounts for BLM & Co for the year ending 31st of December 2008, and the statement of profit and loss for BLM & Co shows a profit for the year of £250,000. The business is still operated as a partnership, so it gives us various information that we'll need to put together later when it comes to doing the partnership agreement, i.e. all this information here, but we'll apply that as and when we need to. So it says, as is always the case, it says you must save the spreadsheet in the appropriate location and rename it in the following format. So again, I'm not going to do that, but I'm just going to take you through what it is that we need to do to complete the assessment. So first of all, we're going to go to use the partnership data supplied in BLM1 in the worksheet, and then we're going to format all the headings to have a bold size 12 font, merge and center the sales and commission, and then align the columns that it's telling us to. So I'll show you. So first of all, we're going to give the headings size 12 and bold font. It then tells us to, or asks us to, merge and center the sales and the commission figures over the two partners, and the same with commission. So merge and center. You will notice, just to save time, that I have put together an appropriation account for later on. You'll have to do that yourself, so you need to familiarise yourself with the appropriation account. In the actual assessment, some of the students had to do a statement of financial position. So again, just be aware of that when it comes to the actual assessment. So let's go back to this task. So we formatted the cells, and I need to align them to the right and to the left. So back to the heading. So this one, it wants us to align to the left, and then all the others, it wants us to align to the right. Simple as that. Okay. Now it says use a custom list to sort the whole table from January to December. So we'll highlight over all of the data, and we'll go on to custom sort. So again, if you go on to sort and filter, and in this one it wants us to do a custom sort. So if you go on to custom sort, and it says sort by month. Okay, we'll do it in a minute in relation to the months, but if I just show you how we can do the format. So if you go into custom list, you'll see you've got lists that have already been prepared. So we don't want Jan to Feb, we want January to February, so on and so forth. So if I click on that list there, you'll see it puts them in that format. So click OK, click OK, and then you see it puts them in the correct order as it asks you to in the assessment. So I'll tick that one. It says use an if statement to calculate the commission on sales for Brian and Marnie for each month. Show your results in columns D and column E. So what have we got? So it says partners earn a commission each month of 1.5% on sales they personally made for that month, provided the sales are greater than £10,000. They earn no commission. They earn no commission in the month otherwise. So what it's basically saying is we need to do an if function or an if command in here that basically says that if Brian has got sales of more than £10,000, then he'll get 1.5% of the sales it's actually made. It's easy to show you. So let's go into formulas. and we go to recently used because I tend to use it quite a lot. So again, I do like to use this table because you can see exactly what it is it's asking you. So the logical test, it's saying that if the sales, so if B6 is greater than £10,000, as it is, as we can see in this case, which is true, then it's basically saying that Brian will get 1.5% of the sales that is made in that particular month. So if I click on Brian now for January, which is B6, and I'm going to multiply that by 0.015. So that's 1.5% basically. So he gets 1.5% of the sales, and if it's less than 10,000, he gets 0. Okay, so I'll click on that, and I can drag it down as far as Brian's concerned. Same for Lukmani. So again, we'll use the if function. So same situation. So if Lukmani, so if that, so C6 is greater than 10,000, which we know it is, then it will be C6 times 0.015, which is 1.5%. And again, if it's less than 10,000, it gets 0. So again, with the if functions, it's really saying, so what is it we're after? So we're basically just saying, so if C6, in this case, which is 36,000, is greater than the 10,000, then he's going to get a bonus of 1.5%. And if it doesn't, then he doesn't. Okay, so click OK. And again, I'll just drag it down accordingly. So we've done the if statement. It says total each of the columns B to E. Let's do that. Auto sum. Take them across. I like to colour them as we go along. So it says in the shaded area, it says custom format the range B6 to E18 in currency, in pounds, with 1,000 separator and 2 decimal places. So I'll show you how it wants us to do that. So it wants us to do custom format. So B6 format cells. Go to custom, and then you get a variety of codes, I suppose. And I'm going down to the pounds one, the pounds things here, and you'll see as your alternate you've got that's basically just the £28,000 with the comma and the pound, but there's no decimal places on that one. You'll notice one on the bottom or underneath it, that one's got to 2 decimal places, which is sort of after the dot here. We will be using it later when it comes to colours and things, when it comes to doing the partnership agreement, but I'll show you that later. So again, if I just click OK, you'll see that it's done it to 2 decimal places. Let's do that again just to show you. So highlight over it, format cells, custom format, and it's that one there. They say it's got 28,000, then a comma, and then you got the 1,000 signs, I suppose, and then you got 0 decimal place. It's 2 decimal places, sorry. Take that one. So now it says, as you can see, it says design a partnership appropriation account in the spreadsheet to appropriate the profits for the year ending 31st of December 2008 between the 2 partners in accordance with the partnership agreement that was above. It says start with the profit for the year and clearly show separate lines for each entitlement or charges against profit, and then provide direct references, so on and so forth. You can see that. But it does say custom format your statement in GB pounds, currency with 1,000 separator, no decimal places, and a black font for positive. ensure that any negative figures are custom formatted to red with a minus sign. So I'm going to do that first. So what I've done is I basically produced the appropriation account, if you like, over here. Again, as long as you get the right information. I'm going to show you what we'll do because we're going to custom format it. So I'm going to highlight it first and then go format cells, and it's custom format. Okay, so it wants pounds. I'll show you which one we're going to use. It wants pounds and it wants it to be black if it is a positive, and it wants it to be red if it's to be a negative. But because I've done this so often before, I prefer sometimes just to type it in. And when you do the actual exam, it does actually tell you what it is that it wants you to do. It shows you the actual formats when it all comes to doing the custom. So for example, for this one, I'm going to go, so the pound sign, and then hash, and then a comma, and then hash hash again. Okay, in the exam it will tell you exactly what you need to do. However, this one it wants us to say if it's a positive, then the font will be black. So I'm going to use, it's the square brackets, I'm going to type black and then close it, and then a semicolon. So that's basically saying, so for a positive figure it's going to be black. If it's minus, so if it's a negative figure, then it's minus and then the pound sign again, hash, comma, hash hash. But this time I'm going to do it in red. Okay, there's no decimal places on this one as well, so again it does more often than not tend to tell you in the exam of what needs to be put in, but it doesn't do that one with the black and the red, so you just need to familiarise yourself with that. I have sort of a lot of my students who work with spreadsheets do wonder why that's in there, and it did take us a while to find out what you needed to do to complete it, but we got there in the end, so hopefully that will help you, and you'll see when we put the figures in as to what that looks like when we do it. So go back to here. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is put the profit figure in, which it tells us at the very beginning was 250,000. So from the top here it said that the profit figure is somewhere there. So £250,000 is the profit. So profits for the year 250,000. Lukmani, I think, took a salary, didn't it? Just double check. So Lukmani takes a salary of 25,000. So just Lukmani as a salary of 25,000. Okay. And it says interest on drawings. So interest on drawings in this example is, so for Brian it's £300 and for Lukmani it's £180. Okay. When I come to work out the residual amount later, I'm going to sort of take it from the profit. So I'm going to put the interest in drawings as a minus. You'll see why shortly. So minus 300 for Brian. You'll see it's turned to red, and the minus 180 for Lukmani. I'm just going to do the totals. I'll total them up. I'll do the same with the others. Okay, and now we've got the commission that we calculated before. So Lukmani's commission is 8,58606. So that's Brian's, and 8,540 pence is Lukmani. So it simply equals the 18 equals E18, and again just total those off. 17,060. Okay. So therefore now we need to calculate what's the residual profit for appropriation. So we had 250,000. They've taken the salary out of that, but we've also given them interest on the drawings. So I'm going to basically work out what the actual residual profit is left to appropriate. So it's equal, so it's a 250,000 minus the sum of, and it's that one there, so it's D22 down to D24, which is 208,394. It does tell us in the question of what the profit share is. It tells us that the residual profit after adjustment is shared between Brian and Lukmani is a ratio of 3:2. So I'll just show you. So profit share. So Brian, so it's at 208,000. So equals 208,000 times 3 divided by 5. Do that again. 126,036. 125,036. Yeah. And then for Lukmani, it's a 208,000 times 2 divided by 5. 83,042. I don't know why these are not 2. Did we catch those before? Format cells, custom. There shouldn't be too many decimal places, so hash, comma. It's better. Okay. That's wrong, isn't it? It should be the other way. Yeah, sum it the other way. Auto sum. See, that's correct. And then we basically got the total amount to be distributed, which is simply just these added together. So I'm going to just auto sum. So how it's all been distributed, or how much is being distributed to each partner. 133,332, 116,678, and then again if I total those up it should equal the profit that we had at the beginning of the year, which is 250,000, which is correct. Seem to remember in one of the questions I've seen from one of the exam papers, it might ask you to do an if function on that one there, just to check, you know, that if that. So if, let's have a look, what's that one? So if B27 plus C27 equals D27, that would be balanced, or check if it's not correct. So quite similar to one of the other assessments we did. Okay, let's have a look where we're up to. So we've designed the appropriation account, we've done the formatting that we needed to do. It now says that Lukmani now asks you what figure for the profit for the year. Let's read that again. It says Lukmani now asks you what figure the profit for the year would need to be if she were to have a total amount distributed to her of 120,000, assuming that nothing else changes, or nothing, all the data remains unchanged. I'll show you exactly what she means, but we need to create, because we need to highlight to the examiner, we know how to do goal seek. So we're going to create, or as it says here, open a new worksheet and name it goal seek. So right click, goal seek. And back to the task. So in essence what they're asking is that for Lukmani to have a total amount distributed to him of 120,000, Boom, 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 yeah. So the amount distributed was to be 120,000. So what would the profit figure need to be? So if Marnie was to have £120,000 distributed to her, then how much would the profit need to be? Okay, so we use the goal seek for that particular part of the question. So I'm going to go into data, and I'm going to what if analysis up here, and we've got goal seek. So again, let's take it through it. You need to remember before clicking OK that you need to screen print this across to the goal seek thing we did before. So in essence, what's it saying? So the question is, so if C27 was 120,000, then what would the profit need to be? So for this one here, so what would D21 need to be? So let's have a look at that before we click it. So it says if that was to be, so if C27 was changed to £120,000, what would the profit figure need to be? Okay, I'm just going to print screen that before I click OK, and I'll show you what happens when I click it. Okay, and you'll see that to have a profit distributed of 120,000, it means that the actual overall profit would need to be 258,305. So go to goal seek, and I'm going to paste it so the examiner knows what we're doing, and then you can see. So we've covered that. We've returned to the goal seek worksheet, and we've pasted a screenshot. Okay. Any questions in relation to this particular task, please don't hesitate to drop me a line. And that's it. As I will do the other sample assessment too and record those as well. So thank you very much. Hope you've learnt.